Hey everyone, this is Anthony Pena, as known as the Alamo City Avenger, and you are listening to the Dork Dad Podcast.
Guess who's back? Back again. What's up, dorks? It's Lucky, the Dork Dad, back at you with a new episode of the Dork Dad Podcast. And again, I'm sorry it's been so long. But again, so many things going on over here in Texas. Unless you're hiding under a rock, you will know that we were hit by a crazy snowstorm last month. And we didn't know how to handle it. So the whole city shut down. We lost power. Some people lost power and water. It was just nuts so over here. But the snow's melted. Everything's back to normal. And I'm here with a new episode. So, yeah, here I am. Again, like I mentioned before, I have shows lined up. It's just a matter of getting everybody's schedule together. I do have another local today, Mr. Anthony Pena, also known as the Alamo City Avenger. We'll get into some comic book talk and some other stuff. Also looking ahead, I have another local artist lined up who we're supposed to record, and this time it was my fault. I had something come up, but I got a Mr. Eddie Rios from Taco Boy Designs that I got lined up. So look forward to that. And there's another big one I've been trying so hard to get through. I guess I'll just announce it now since I think it's gonna happen finally. So if anybody out there watches Hell's Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay, the current season that's on right now, there is a local chef by the name of Chef Mary Lou. Again, she's a local chef here in San Antonio, and she is on the show right now. She's still in it. She's live and kicking, if you will. So I've been trying to get her on the show for a while now. I'm having to jump through some hoops and get approvals and all this stuff. I'll get into that when I actually sit down with her and get the show done. But look forward to that in the near future, hopefully. Keeping my fingers crossed. But on this episode, we got Mr. Anthony Pena, a local guy I've never met before, but I met him on the show, and he's a pretty cool guy. He's a fellow father, fellow dork dad, loves comic books so much he's in an actual special club, which we'll get into, the Comic Book Fiend Club. So, yeah, let's just jump into it. It's about time, right? Let's get started with Mr. Anthony Pena, the Alamo City Avenger. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Let me just my volume. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, you good. What's up, man? Trying to adjust here.
Not much.
I'm a little rusty. It's been a while since I recorded. How you doing, man?
Microphone like that.
Oh, Mike. I just pick things up here and there. It's nothing fancy. How you doing, man?
Doing good.
All right.
I'm a little tired, so I have my coffee with me. I'm getting old where I'm going to need like a cup of coffee like at 6 o'clock. Just like go to bed.
I hear you. So we got Mr. Anthony Pena, the Alamo City Avenger. What's going on, man?
It's going. It's getting late, for dad time. So, dad time stops at 9 o'clock, and then I'm ready for bed.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You know, I'm not getting any younger here either, so 9 o'clock sounds about right to me. But I wanted to get into what you got going on, man. So you're a fellow San Antonian, am I right?
That's right. And I'm a teacher, so I'm enjoying my spring break,
Awesome.
but I'm not sleeping in either. So that kind of like offsets everything that we look forward to spring break. But no matter what, I don't have to go. So that's good.
All right, so teacher, you do elementary, middle school, high school,
Middle school,
middle
right when
school.
those hormones kick in. So
Nice, nice. I have uh, I have one going into well, I'm up in shirts. We have it's a little different. We have intermediate and then junior high, which is just eighth and ninth. So I have one going into eighth grade next year, and
okay.
my daughter's currently a freshman, and my oldest is a senior, so he'll be graduating here pretty quick.
Yeah, my two, my daughter, she's in fifth grade. She'll be starting junior high next year, and then my son's in third grade.
All right, you got a ways to go then.
Yeah, quite a
Uh,
ways. Yeah,
my kids are almost on their way out. It's a struggle because my oldest, he only got a couple more months, and then he still doesn't know what he wants to do. But whatever, that's the way kids are now, I guess.
yeah. They'll explore in college and they'll find their way,
Yeah,
passion. They say.
I didn't know what I wanted to do at that age, so and I think I still don't know what I want to do. So
At that age, I was like, as a sophomore in not sophomore, but junior in high school, I was off in the military. I knew I was joining the military since leaving. So I grew up in a small town in Wichita Falls, Texas. So
all right,
not many people get out of there unless they go to college or go to the military. So military is my
let's talk about you
route to
did
get out of there.
Army, Air Force, what branch?
I was in the Navy. I was in the Navy for
Navy.
13 years.
All right. I was just wondering because I know, we're a military city here. We've got Air Force Base, Army Base. I didn't know if you were originally from Texas or you were a transplant here.
Yeah, my wife is originally from San Antonio. So.
All right. I see. So, the Alamo City Avenger. How did that name come about, man?
Well, you see, I was starting up like this little my hobby of my ramping up my comic book hobby, and there was this club, the Comic Book Fiend Club, that I was a part of, and when I started off Instagram, I just had my name up there. It said Anthony S. Pena was my name, and I'd go to like their group chats and stuff, and they'd be like, "You have like the lamest name you have
It's just
for
your
a comic book
name.
club. It's just your name. You come up with something better." So I had to go to Think Tank to think about it, and I was like, "Well, Alamo City Avenger, I could do it, but I had to spell it different because somebody already has that name on Instagram, so I had to go to get creative on how to spell the name."
That's right.
So
You have the O with a zero, right?
you're right, yeah. And then I have the like the little space of underscore, so it's kind of like it's a little creative, but I found a way to keep that name.
All right, cool. Now you talked about the this comic book fiend club, man. I've been seeing some posts about that. I started following them. Um, what is that all about, man? It looks interesting. It reminds me of like a motorcycle gang or something. I see these guys with these cuts, with these vests with the patches on. And it's like, man, that looks dope as hell. How do you become a part of that? And it just caught my eye. It
Yeah,
looked
we
pretty
look pretty
interesting.
tough at a definitely. Yeah, we look pretty tough at a Comic Con, but if we go to like a biker bar, we're going to get all of our butts whipped. But yeah, we do have the vest and everything. My vest, I kind of outgrew mine, so I had to get a bigger size. So I hit a growth spurt.
uh,
I want to say that.
as we all
But
do. As we all do.
yeah, so my my vest is under construction. But yeah, we had like the cuts, like the vest, and like we have like the symbol that looks like it kind of looks like a motorcycle gang. When you put us all together, it's pretty intimidating, I would say, especially if it's a bunch of nerds, like
Yeah.
like we are a bunch of older nerds. Um,
Uh,
And it's not. It's like it says comic book fan club, but we know we got people interested in Star Wars. We have Star Trek people who like in Dungeons and Dragons. So it's like in a collective world type of thing. So, but we bond over comics mostly. It's a bunch of us. We like hard time, make fun of each other.
I got you. Can you break it down? Like, what do you got to do to become a member? I mean, that kind of interests me too. I kind of looked a little bit into it. To me, it looks like a big commitment. Like you got to be there in their club, and that's it.
Right. Yeah. So, if you can look on Instagram is a pretty big world, and you see like these different clubs for comic book clubs, and for what makes comic book fan club unique is like they only do like once a year. They'll take new people in, and it's just basically showcasing yourself. It shows us how you promote yourself as a comic book collector, and then you just connect with those inside the club. And then if we like you enough, then we would in the club.
So it is like a motorcycle club.
All kind of, yeah. Except you don't have to like rob banks or kill someone to get in the club. It's just showing what you're passionate about. And like you don't have to have the best comic books. You don't have to have like the most expensive comic books. It's just collecting what you like, being yourself. Because you think I'm popular, being the lone guy that collects, Captain Marvel, everything. Like,
well, we're gonna get into that. Like, we're gonna get into that.
But definitely, yeah. So, so when I filled out my application, they asked you like what your favorite superhero is, and I went on this whole paragraph for Carol Danvers. I'm probably like the only person in the history of comic book fan club to write about Carol Danvers. But
okay, since you're bringing it up, I mean, yeah, what's with Captain Marvel, man? I see you post all this stuff. You got all these books and all Captain Marvel stuff, and it just you're right. It's odd. It's like who likes Captain Marvel? Was there a love before the movie came out, or was it afterwards, or were you like excited for the movie, or?
Yeah, before like Captain Marvel was Miss Marvel a long time ago. So back in the 60s, she was Miss Marvel, and like in usually about the 2000s, she became like this Miss Marvel that was, I would say, she was tougher, she was sexier, she had that black suit with the lightning bolt on it.
All right,
that Miss Marvel version. That's probably like her most popular one, but I think she's gaining more speed with Captain Marvel now, who is more about like empowering women and being strong. Well, now she's single, strong single woman with the world carried upon her back and stuff. But yeah, she's a pretty interesting character just because she went through so many transformations, and she struggled with alcoholism. She's a veteran from the Air Force, so a lot of connections there that I could see with Carol Danvers.
I got you. So is that kind of your thing? You're into these female superheroes, or is that just your main one?
Usually it's like my main one. I try to keep things like, so I don't have like this overwhelming collection of things. I do collect like a lot of the stuff in Spider-Verse. Right, exactly. It's like stuff in the Spider-Verse because that's like a movie that my kids enjoy. Like my son's favorite character is Miles Morales. So I like to connect with them over like the Spider-Verse characters. So I try to collect, stuff like Spider-Gwen and that Spider-Man ER.
Oh yeah.
And
I think that movie helped out us comic nerds, at least get our kids and get the younger generation involved, because they made comics cool again, I guess you could say. I mean, we always thought they were cool, but bringing these younger kids in, it definitely helped. That movie's pretty awesome.
And Disney Plus as well. So we have like all the shows that we see when we were young. Like they have like the X-Men cartoons, which a lot of us grew up with the X-Men series. And it has like all the movies Marvel movies now, and then I think they actually brought in the old X-Men movies, even though not the most popular, but they put
Yeah.
X-Men on the map
Now that they
in the
own those
world. So
movies, yeah.
right, yeah, because they own Fox. I think Fox owned X-Men, and
Yeah.
then Disney bought Fox.
Since you're kind of going that way, did you watch WandaVision?
I did watched all of them, and it's the only like comic book stuff I could ever get my wife to get interested in. If it's anything else comic book, she's not interested at all. But if it's like a TV show
Yeah,
with an interesting plot, definitely.
I still can't get my wife
Yeah.
into it. I mean, she went to watch like Endgame with us and with me and my boys, but yeah, she didn't get into WandaVision, or at least I can't get her into it. But what did you think of the show overall? I mean, I thought it was a slow burn. Well, the first two episodes kind of I was waiting for something to happen, but then they just hit you, and then I was hooked, and it ended up being a really great show.
It did. It did turn out to be a great show, but I'm like the worst person to ask. Like, was it a good movie or was it a good show? Because I'm a fan from the get go, and I'm gonna, talk good about it no matter what. It's like my brother asked us, like, did you watch the Suicide Squad? It's like, oh man, I love the Suicide Squad. And he went to go watch it. He's like, this movie was trash. What the heck are you talking about? I was like, don't take my word for it, because I'm gonna like it no matter what.
And that
So like,
I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I like just about everything, and I'm a big Batman guy right now, or at least here lately, I've been a real Batman guy. And but I hate Batman versus Superman. It's just so boring to me. It's long. It's boring. I'm crossing my fingers for this new Snyder cut of Justice League that it's better. It seems that way, but we'll have to see. You excited
yeah,
for that at all?
yeah, we see like the dark side coming to make an appearance in that movie,
Yeah,
which I think that's pretty
yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see how Snyder originally wanted the movie to go, but yeah, we'll have to see. Like I said, I'm crossing my fingers. I'm really hoping it's it's gonna be a better movie.
Yeah, I like Zack Snyder. Like his other movie, I really, I like the movie Sucker Punch, and I think that's a
Oh
really
yeah,
good, nice, beautifully shot movie.
yeah, that's a
Which
great
the
movie.
story isn't great, but the way it's shot, it's amazing.
Yeah. So as a fan of Captain Marvel, were you excited to see Monica Rambeau?
Yes, I think that Monica Rambeau, she was like the most hated superhero that didn't get a lot of exposure,
Mm,
and she was Captain Marvel before Carol Danvers was Captain Marvel.
really?
Um, so yeah, so she carried that torch before Carol Danvers did, and then she changed her name to Photon, which you kind of get that hint in WandaVision. You see that the
Yeah,
call
yeah,
sign Photon on there, yeah. So seeing that, I'm glad that she's getting that exposure into
yeah.
the comic MCU.
I'm not as familiar with the character. Does she have powers similar to Captain Marvel, or do you know?
Right? Yeah, she does.
All right, because I saw like the bullets just went right through her, and or she absorbed them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is going on there? But yeah, I'm excited. Did you catch that end credit scene there?
Yeah, which she talks to the scroll,
Yeah.
and
So
she's like, somebody wants to meet you, or somebody wants to talk to you. And she like pointed up to the sky. I think
yeah. So
who do you think
it's
you
got to be
you think
Nick
she
Fury,
wants to
right?
talk to her?
It's got to be Nick Fury,
Nick
right?
Fury, yeah.
Right. He's
Nick
up,
Fury or Captain
or
Marvel.
Captain
One of
Marvel.
the two.
You think that's gonna lead into Captain Marvel 2, or do you think that's leading to
Yeah, they
something
said she's
else?
going to be in the movie. They confirmed that she was going to be in that movie. So even the Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, is going to make an appearance in that movie. So I'm excited for
Oh,
Captain Marvel too.
we're getting a series of her as well, right? Her
Yeah,
supposedly.
Miss Marvel's in her series. Yeah,
Yeah, awesome.
like if you read her comic, she's a big like a Carol Danvers Captain Marvel fan. So
All right. Are there any other? Like I said, I'm really into Batman. Aside from Captain Marvel, do you have another character out there that you're like, I really love this character?
Gwenpool. Have you
Gwenpool.
ever read any of? you read any of her stuff?
Not okay. I'm kind of a unique breed, maybe. I like comics a lot. I have a lot of comics. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't have time to read comics. So, like, I'm a
Oh,
cover guy. Like, I'll look for keys, or if I really like a cover that looks really cool, I'll go that route. And I do have a lot of trades that I've been collecting. I just taking time to actually get down and actually reading all these stories. But yeah, I love comics, but I haven't. I don't know Gwen Poole's storyline there.
yeah. So Gwenpool is like this girl. She's like a big comic book fan, so she knows like all the backstories and secret identities for all the superheroes. But she goes into this realm where she becomes part of a comic book. So when she faces off against like these characters, she already knows who they are and who their secret identity is. So it's
Ah,
pretty funny how she interacts with the characters. She's pretty like she's not a trained assassin like Deadpool or anything. So she fumbles around with a lot of stuff that she does. She just kind of she does she's kind of a good guy, but she does like bad things, kind of like a Harley Quinn. Like she would rob a bank, but she'll have good intentions along the way. So
I got you.
um, that's what makes her character interesting, and she's wisecracking the whole time. So she has like it's very funny story.
That's cool. So she knows everybody's moves and powers and all that. So that sounds
Right?
interesting. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, because she faces off with like Thor, which James Foster, and she gets kind of like in a fight with her, and she's like, "Your name is James Foster," and the Thor was like, "What? What'd you call me?" So she knew exactly who she was. So it's pretty funny how she was able to do that, and she becomes friends with Miles Morales. He tries to keep her out of trouble. He like tells her to do good things, but she keeps wanting to do bad things, like shoot up the room or use the bazooka, blow things up. So
Nice. One thing I noticed you post all these beer. You're a beer drinker.
I am
Are you
drink
into
lots of beer.
all these craft beers? You prefer beer over liquor?
Um, Not over whiskey. I like bourbon.
All right.
Um, but
That's my
like if
kind
I
of
want to
beer.
keep it light, I don't want to feel like crap the next day. Then I drink beer.
I was interested in that pickle beer you showed, man. It's like
Oh yeah, it was good. I was like, you don't know what to expect when you drink a beer that tastes like pickle. Um, but it's pretty popular here in San Antonio. Freetail actually makes it,
yeah,
and
I need to try to track some down.
yeah, I know one of the guys that works there, and he gave me a 6 pack, and he was like, "Here, you want to try it?" It's like it didn't last long. I probably drank it all like in 3 hours.
uh,
I
yeah.
think it would be good, like if you had, a michelada. If you made micheladas out of it, and gives you that
Ooh,
pickle taste in there, it's really good.
you're speaking my language. That's pretty much the only way I can drink beer, unless it's like a craft beer. I'll be into that. But like just a regular beer, because it's so filling. I'd rather have a michelada.
Yeah, get your fruits in
Yeah.
or vegetable fruits and vegetables.
Let's talk about Gold Crow Inkworks, man. What's up with that?
That's like my identity for my art. So, um, once upon a time, I wanted to like market myself as an artist. I in college, my minor was in like 2-dimensional art, so I did a lot of um, like painting and drawing and stuff like that. So I would just post my artwork I did in class that day, or I actually did an art show once at the Aztec here in San Antonio, and that was
Nice.
pretty fun. So
Nice.
yeah, it was just like something I made. I don't know why I didn't use my name as an artist to do it, but you know, I just made that company just so we had the art show. I had a company name to go by. It was pretty fun experience having an art show.
Yeah, I really dig all that stuff. I love art. I love local artists. I just like all the stuff. I got prints and original artwork from people that I've met and stuff, and it's just really cool. And I think it's cool because I'm jealous because I can't do that kind of stuff. I can draw stick figures, but that's about it. But yeah, your stuff's really cool. Like I said, I like meeting other artists, local artists. Should be doing another show with another local artist. I don't know if you know Eddie Rios. He's Taco Boy Designs.
Okay.
And if you look him up, he's another local guy. Does some really cool stuff. A lot of his characters are like taco themed, or they have a taco with them. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do like a lot of I like sci-fi stuff mostly.
All
I get
right.
it like I can something could be off about it, and nobody's like, oh, it's like fiction, so nobody's really going to care about these imperfections.
Uh,
Drawing
it's
likenesses is hard,
That's why it's art.
but it'll take me long.
That's why it's art, man.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, but I need to set more time for art because sometimes I'll sit down and work on a project and I won't stop until it's done. So I'm like 2 o'clock in the morning, I was like, man, I better get to bed. I have to go to work in the morning. And it's
Yeah,
like 4 hours of sleep to go to work.
that's the struggle we all face. I think there's a lot of things I want to dip my hands into. I get ideas and I start running with it for a little while, and then something happens, and then I could just have all this stuff piling up. But yeah, it's just time. We get older, we got families, we got more responsibilities, and we got to be grown ups some of the time. But eventually, I'll get to this stuff. Maybe.
Yeah. So definitely like being with the club and then doing, art. Um, you know, my daughter loves to do art. I think, well, my daughter loves to draw and she has a real talent as well. So I think she enjoys that time that we have together that we're drawing, but she's so much faster than I am. So, I'm like trucking along and she's almost done. So it's kind of like, well, when she's done, she's not going to hang around anymore. So I'll just stop.
We mentioned WandaVision. Did you get into Mandalorian too? You into Star Wars?
I watched Mandalorian. I'm not really my knowledge on Star Wars isn't that great, but like I know like some of the characters. I can't tell you like what those you know background characters are or what species each alien is, but I enjoyed the Mandalorian. My son loves Grogu, or
Oh yeah.
as he calls it, Baby Yoda.
Who
He loves that
doesn't?
Baby Yoda.
Everybody loves Baby Yoda. I'm I'm wondering if we're ever gonna see him again in the show, or are they just gonna move forward with another story?
Maybe we'll see like adolescent Yoda, and he'll be with the Force.
Because if
Fine, but I was excited to see Mark Hamill at the end, though.
Oh
That was
yeah,
amazing. That
that
was
was
great.
that was the moment, right? That was
Mhm.
the big wow moment. Um, I guess if you go back to WandaVision, leading up to the end of the season, Paul Bettany had went on social media saying, "Oh, there's going to be a Luke type of moment in WandaVision," and he was going on saying, "Oh, he was so glad to work with this person and whatnot." And I think we all got trolled, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, the Quicksilver gag. They put it through in there.
I think so, but he was talking
He
about
thought they were bringing the X-Men into the MCU that time, right?
yeah, and he was
Everybody's like, oh,
he was hinting at like a big cameo or something similar to the Mandalorian, but I think he was just talking about himself acting with himself as White Vision. But it was still good, even though I think they trolled us a little bit on that.
yeah, that boner guy. He ends up
Yeah,
he was just a actor,
boner.
last name Boner.
Were you disappointed about that? How he just ended up being some random guy and not really a, a tie-in to the Fox universe?
I don't know. I guess I wasn't that disappointed because I was just along for the ride. I wasn't
I
like
got
that
you.
intensely invested into something happening, but I was just there to soak it all in.
I got you.
I see a lot of people who are critical, and then all these things they say about you know what they expected, and it's like I don't know. I'm not like that, so it's just I like that. I like to enjoy it.
Yeah, you like
I don't want to be
everything.
all critical and yeah,
That's the way I feel about like some of the Star Wars stuff. How the fans are so critical, all the hate. I don't know if you know, like from the Last Jedi movie, how they're like, oh, well, Luke wouldn't do that, and this and that, and people just hate the Last Jedi. Where me, I'm just like, I like Star Wars, so I was just glad to see whatever, and you know,
right.
it's all fiction. So how can they be mad and say that's not what he would do? It's like, how do you know? You know?
Maybe we're part of the problem because we're like the easily entertained, go to support them no matter what, and then they keep making crappy movies, and then oh we loved it,
Yeah,
and
but
then like
that's the thing too, though. I mean, even the haters, they're gonna go watch it no matter what.
right
They still call themselves
exactly
fans. Either way, they're gonna have our money. Anything Star Wars, superhero, comic book related, they have my money.
exactly. You like anything Ghostbusters, like even the last Ghostbusters. My kids liked it. I liked it. I thought it was funny,
I liked it
and
too. They're giving
I
the
like seeing
girls,
Ghostbusters back.
yeah, they're giving the girls a hard time. I like that movie. Even though I guess now technically it's not going to be canon, but I'm excited for this new movie too. Paul Rudd. I mean, you can't go wrong with Paul Rudd.
Right, and it kind of gets into like the Ghostbusters has been gone for a long time, and then you have like the future of it. So I think I'm excited about that,
Oh yeah,
and get that nostalgia back. Like having the Ecto One come out and the barn is pretty cool.
yeah. There's two things that really sell: nostalgia and sex. Unfortunately, but if you have those two things or a mixture of them, oh yeah, it's gold.
Oh yeah, it is.
I guess speaking of nostalgia, you into are you looking forward to the new Space Jam reboot or Space Jam 2, whatever it is?
I mean, I'll watch it, but um,
Were you a fan of the first one, or did you grow up watching Looney Tunes?
yeah, I grew up watching Looney Tunes. That was like big in the '90s, right? Looney Tunes everywhere. Like you go to Six Flags, there's Looney Tunes everywhere. Um,
I guess
like Space Jam, the first Space Jam, I really liked the first Space Jam. I was a fan. It even had the soundtrack that we'd play in the car with my parents.
I
So
believe I could
I
fly.
think the only difference, but I guess you're not going to have like Speedy Gonzalez or Pepe Le Pew in that one,
That
are you?
that's what I was gonna lead to here. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, leaving out Pepe Le Pew because for whatever reason they look back at the old cartoons and saying, "Oh, he was a rapist and whatnot." It's like I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm older than you. I grew up watching those Looney Tunes, the actual Looney Tune shows, and you don't think of that stuff at that time. Even now, I don't think of it like that. If I see those old cartoons, it's just a cartoon. But it's this culture we live in now. This cancel culture that they want to cancel everything. Cancel Pepe Le Pew. Cancel Eminem. What's up with that?
Eminem, what gives an Eminem for?
I don't. They're saying that his songs are mean, or I'm like, come on. It's like whatever.
I think you start working into like people expressing themselves. Like music is an art. Like you have artists. Art comes in different forms. So they already had the struggle before. Like back when they started banning all these books, and then even comic books went through this. They burned all the comic books. So they think they're calling juvenile delinquency, and it's a shame that we're going through the same like censorship again. It's like just
It's
because. he doesn't share the same views as anybody else, that we got to cancel it, or these these are cartoon characters, and I don't think that these cartoon characters are being influenced by children, or in children being influenced by the cartoon characters.
I mean,
How
it's
can you
funny.
take like a skunk seriously? It's a cartoon.
I know
But
you're gonna look at him and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go rape that girl now." I mean, come on.
right, he was French. And he was like always in love, I guess. Alluding to like people like French guys, or French people,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
romantic. Yeah, but
I don't know.
does it overdo it? Yeah, it's amplified because it's a cartoon. But how when was Looney
But
Tunes first written? It's an old running cartoon show.
and really, you
Like even the
can.
Muppets were.
That's another thing. They're talking about um, Miss Piggy, canceling Miss Piggy because she was always trying to throw herself on Kermit, and I'm like, come on. But really, you can take any of the Looney Tunes characters, and there's things with them that probably aren't well accepted today. I mean, look at Bugs Bunny himself. He was a cross dresser. You know what I mean?
Right. But you take that away, you're probably gonna have that community throw a fit, because you're eliminating cross dressing as part of society. There's no way you can win at this at all. And just canceling this different this cancel culture is, I know it's getting ridiculous. Is it a point for, like, yeah, something outrageous out there? Should you educate your kids about it? You should, but I don't know.
it's getting ridiculous. Cross dressing Bugs Bunny. I mean, you can say Foghorn Leghorn, the big rooster, is pretty much a racist, calling everybody, "Look here, boy." I mean,
Yeah, he has a southern accent.
any character in there you can pick apart. But I just thought it was crazy that Pepe Le Pew, Miss Piggy.
Well, look at
getting
Beavis and
crazy.
Butthead. It's like the absolute worst cartoon you could ever show your kid, but that one's coming back because it's towards
Yeah,
adults now, so that makes it okay.
yeah,
But that's not going to stop a kid from watching it. So
right.
I don't know. It's like, I don't get it.
Yeah, the world we live in.
Yeah. So what brought about all this canceling all Looney Tunes all of a sudden? Because Looney Tunes hasn't really been on TV for a long time now. It just kind of put them in the spotlight. I guess with this new Space Jam, they're like, well, here's this character. We got to get rid of him because he's
Yeah, but it's like they got rid
sexually
of.
harassing all these
But it's like they didn't even write
cats.
them in, um, knowing that someone might be offended, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just sad that's how we are now. We're worried about who's gonna get offended. I mean, if you look at anything in the 80s and 90s, even they're trying to bring some of it back, but most of it wouldn't be able to air nowadays because someone would get their
Right.
feelings hurt.
Exactly. I don't really understand why you wouldn't. It's like, just because a few people are offended, you're going to get rid of the whole thing for everyone. But
Yep. It's just the way it is. You say something wrong, especially like now on social media, you say something and someone gets mad, you can get fired, you can get, it can change your whole life if someone gets offended on what you say. It almost makes
and I
people
know
not want to be on social media, but I don't know. Unfortunately, it's the world we live in, and that's where everything's going.
exactly. I know it was just, we've been in a sensitive time lately, so I think you're trying to be oversensitive in a lot of things. What can you do? I guess one thing they can do is, if you're going to fix one problem, you should fix all of them. And I think they're doing it the wrong way.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
Because like I said, you cancel one, and then people are upset about that. why you cancel that one? Why not this guy? And then I don't know. It just has a
Yeah,
domino effect.
so I don't know many Mexican people that were offended by Speedy Gonzalez that much.
No, I think we're probably more excited that we were actually represented on TV. It's like we made
Like,
it. We made it.
you know, like he didn't wear anything offensive. He had a big Mexican hat, but that's what you wear in
and
Mexico, right?
and he was cool. I mean, he was a speedster. He was the Flash. You know.
Yeah, he was like the underdog hero type. Like somebody was always like that. Somebody was always trying to get him. He had like his cousin Slowpoke Rodriguez. I was
Yeah.
like, we got family members that act like Slowpoke Rodriguez.
And he ended up saving them all from whatever situation they were in.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you just have to have like a sense of humor, and I think that's part of the Mexican culture. Is you better have thick skin, and you better have a sense of humor in the Mexican family because
Oh,
your family's gonna roast you at a family gathering.
I say it all the time. Mexican families that's how they show love, by letting you know how much you suck. but
Yeah,
but
you
that's
take
just
your
love.
biggest insecurities and make it your nickname, right?
Yeah, I mean, I remember, my grandma passed away already, but I remember every time we go see my grandma, she would say, "Hey, what's up, Fatso?" Or Gordo, or she'd just call me whatever. It's like, okay, I love you too.
I don't know. I guess it's how we were raised. It makes a difference. It
Yeah,
makes us a little bit tougher.
there's probably very few Mexican Karens out there, or Hispanic Karens.
Probably. And then, like, I did a tour of duty in Afghanistan, and the when they take you go, they talk about like the culture there, the Afghan culture, and the team was talking to me. He's like, well, make sure that when you hang out with these guys, you have to have a thick skin because they're gonna, you know, make fun of you and call you names and stuff like that. I was like, oh, don't worry about that. I was like, but if you like, it's funny because you could get them so mad, but they can't bother you. And I think it makes them mad if they don't bother you, and then you can get them mad.
uh, I love
I
Middle
think
Eastern
I think
people.
it makes them more mad that they can't that they show it doesn't bother you. So
I love Middle Eastern people too. I mean, I think they're similar to us. They tell you like it is. They, uh,
mhm.
like I go to my doctor and he's funny. He's always interested in what I do at my job and but whenever I go in there, he's like, "What's going on? You're still fat. What's going on?" but but he's funny like that, and that's what I like about him. But yeah, yeah, people need to not get so offended all the time.
Right. It's like as if it's the cartoon. Like if you don't bothers you, don't watch it. Don't give me your money. Just don't. I don't know what to tell you. It's like I'm not very political or anything, so it's just like a few things bother me that I'll let them bother me. But if it comes up for a discussion, I'm like I'm not very interested in the discussion about politics. I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be one of those days.
Yeah,
But um,
I mean,
that's when you have like you just sit back and quiet and nod. You're like, yeah, I see your point, but
I'm the same way. I don't go looking for confrontation. I just roll with the punches. Whatever it is, it is. That's the way it goes. I was really I was really I really thought we were gonna see some stuff today, especially about the whole mask thing here in Texas. Because even though
oh
they
yeah,
even though they lifted the mask ban or mask requirements, there's still a lot of places, HEB, a lot of small businesses are still requiring a mask, and I was just waiting to see something happen where there's gonna be people out there. I know they are. They're gonna be like, "Well, I don't have to wear a mask," but uh, well,
yeah.
in here you
And
do.
they should yeah they should respect those businesses. If that's how they want to run their business. Let them run like follow the rules. If you need groceries, wear a mask. It's their policy. You
Yeah,
know, it's like you don't cause a big scene because you don't want to wear a mask. That's just stupid or uncalled for. Like I saw, like I was watching like the news. I was watching the news this morning, and they went to like this Mexican restaurant, like in Texas, and I guess they were requiring some people to wear a mask to go in that restaurant. And like the people were like throwing a fit because they didn't want to wear a mask. It's like, oh, the mandate's been lifted. I don't have to wear a mask in here. I was like, well, our restaurants do it. And then they threatened to call like immigration on that business with the workers. I'm like, that's not right. Just that's because you don't believe, like that's just creating more problems. It's like, just wear the mask if for all God reasons you do not want to wear a mask. Don't go there. Go to a different restaurant. That won't require a wear mask. It's simple.
Go get your tacos somewhere else.
Right? It's like, come on.
Yeah. I'm just hoping nothing crazy happens like that where it leads to something else. But
yeah, I just hope. I hope not. I hope everybody has common sense, but that's not the case most of the time.
Unfortunately. All right, let's see. We talked about your artwork, your comic club. Is there anything else you want to share or promote or get out there?
For the comic book fan club, so we do like a lot of charity work, or we try to do something. Usually, before like this COVID stuff happened, we would deliver like comic books to hospitals for children.
Nice.
And stuff like that.
Nice.
But since COVID hit, they don't really take donations outside the hospital nowadays. But now for March, it's like Brain Injury Awareness Month. So we're trying to raise money because we do have a couple of people in our club. One has brain injury from his service in the Army, and one has brain injury from actually like a car accident that involved like lift services. So we're just trying to support their cause there for the brain injury awareness. And if you keep an eye out on those on Instagram, if those are in the club, people are selling comics to raise money. They'll sell their comics and use that money to give to that charity, or you can just donate to the charity itself through the Comic Book Fan Club page there.
That's it.
And also, like on March 13th, the Comic Book Fan Club's actually having a drunk cast. So it's basically what that is like a bunch of members get online on YouTube, and they'll just talk about comics or anything nerd related, and they'll just sit there. It progressively gets worse because they get more drunk and they become more belligerent and making fun of each other. It's pretty funny watching that. So if you want good entertainment there, you get to see part of, the Fan Club and how they interact with each other, which is pretty funny.
What, that YouTube channel, is it just the Comic Book Fan Club?
Yes. So
all right.
They actually do live casts.
I'll put links to that in the show notes too.
And on March 17th, I actually sent out a Zoom for our South chapter. But like everybody's invited. So if you want to come hang out with us and get to learn more about the club, I usually put like a Zoom link in my profile there. I'll make an announcement saying, join us for a Zoom meeting, and then we'll just sit around and, we won't necessarily talk about comics all the time, but, if it's people who are interested or have questions, let them know, or, they ask us for advice. It's like, how do you get in the club? We share that with them. So, but it's just a laid back environment. We're just, chill, just talk about all these different things. It's pretty fun.
That's awesome. I got to check that out.
Yeah. So definitely a good time. Last time we had, people were having drinks, and then it was a good time. It was really fun. And then we got to know we met some of the hopefuls, those we call them hopefuls, people who are applying to the club, and they give us like their story and show off a little bit what they have. It's really interesting. It's something that we just started like a couple weeks ago. I was like, let me set up a Zoom meeting And so, well, half the people didn't know how to work Zoom. So that was like the funny part. It was like, I can't get in. How do you get in? It's like, just click the link.
Yeah.
It's like, the link's not working. I was like, oh my goodness. I just look at it. It's like, why did I start this? But it was fun at the end.
That's cool, man. Because I'm sure a lot of people would want to get into that once they find out about the Fiend Club and find out ways how to get in. Because it looks super cool. I'm kind of jealous. I want to vest.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and especially if you get to meet the guys, and it's not like it's professional comic book club, like you have to like follow the bylaws and structured meetings and stuff like that. It's just us BS all the time, making fun of each other. I was like, I saw you're posting this. What's up with that? Or we'd make memes about each other. That's the funnest part, making memes. You probably saw a couple of my on my feed that I
kind of record covers, album covers.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of give everybody a hard time.
That reminds me of a group that I'm in, because I have my own feed where my show runs on, but I'm also part of a podcasting network, and there's a separate Facebook page, and they're always knocking on each other and making fun of each other, putting their faces on other pictures and stuff. So yeah, I know what that's about. It's a lot of fun,
right? And some of the people are really, they take it to the next level. They're like, oh man, I can never do that. So it's funny to see.
Yeah, the guys I know can get pretty crazy too. I might be a contributor to that, but yeah, it can get pretty crazy. But that's another thing I love about doing podcasting and meeting other people, like getting to know you. I've met a lot of people, a lot of local people too. I don't know if you know of Alfred and Chris. They have a podcast called Comic Book Characters, and Alfred, we're all part of a Facebook group called Invincible Comics and More. And every Friday, so this Friday he's going to do he does a live auction, a comic book auction. And at the end of the auction, usually the final item is usually something for charity. So we've done St. Jude's, we've done, all kinds of stuff. So I am going to mention this brain injury charity, and maybe one of the upcoming auctions we can do whatever charity item and have that money go towards that charity.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, so if you guys are interested in that, it's Invincible Comics and More Facebook group. So
if you set that up, I could probably get some members to jump on there and make some bids and stuff.
Yeah,
so
I'll
spread it around.
I'll send you links and all that good stuff. I usually end the show with something I call Dork Dad Questions. It's just 5 random questions, no right or wrong answers, just something willy-nilly, just for fun. So if you're cool, we can go over these Dork Dad Questions.
All right.
So the first one, I probably already know the answer, but it's been kind of a staple question because in that Facebook or that podcasting network I'm in, it's a big debate because there's a lot of Marvel guys, and there's also a Star Wars podcast called Sarlacc Digest, and there's always this big fight on which is more culturally significant, right? Star Wars or Marvel? What do you think?
It has to be Marvel. Culturally significant?
Yes.
I mean, Marvel, it takes place in like everyday United States cities like New York, in different backgrounds. It's just New York alone. You look at New York, you see the characters that come out of New York, different suburbs of different parts of New York. So, you have like a big variety of, stuff that we can relate to as humans, I'm sure there's more races of aliens in Star Wars, but I bet we can't relate to any species, a different species. I would say
So your answer is Marvel.
Marvel. Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answers, but that's wrong. But no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Eventually, we've been saying we're gonna do it for years already, but it's just hard getting everybody's schedules lined up. We're gonna have like a debate, Star Wars versus Marvel, on this big show. But it's too hard to get everybody together.
Marvel has like a Star Wars universe, like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like if you want that kind of
I mean, there's all kinds of talking points. Like I said, there's no wrong or right answer. We're all winners in my head because, I love the Marvel stuff and I love the Star Wars stuff, and Disney rules the world now.
Or is that now they own both? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see the second question. If they were to come out with an action figure of yourself, what accessories would you come with?
Probably a comic book, either a beer or a coffee. If it's for kids, probably a coffee. If it's works with the adult line, then probably a beer
or both, right?
A liquor bottle.
Or both. You can be a deluxe set.
The deluxe, yeah. I could come like in those, those high end toys that has like 15 different hands and like 12 different feet, and I can change them out. And,
I still have this Superman. I still have the Superman I haven't opened yet, but I don't know. All right. Question number 3. You a wrestling fan at all?
Wrestling? I haven't watched wrestling in forever. Probably since like the days of like Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan and stuff like that.
That's my day. That's WWF, right?
Yeah, but, WWF.
When they walk out, they always have this theme song, and it's them. If you were to have your own theme song, what do you think it would be? Or what would it be?
Theme song. That's kind of hard. I don't know what I would pick. It's like if I had to make an entrance for a room, every single time I entered a room, I had to play the same song over and over. I would, just to keep it corny, I would say "Take on Me" by Aha. That would be my.
There you go. Nice.
My entrance song.
Let's see. Number 4. Let's say you wake up middle of the night. Hopefully this never happens, but let's say your house is on fire, right? All the kids, all your family is safe already. What is that one thing that you're going to run back in the house and get? One collectible that you are going to save from a fire?
I would have to say my spinner rack back here full of my keys. I would pick that thing up and run outside.
Hey, I didn't notice that. That's actually cool, man. That's old school. You go into the gas stations or little convenience stores with all the comics on it.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I found a spinner rack. We went to like an antique show, and they had one sitting there. It's like he only wanted like $20 for it, so we bought it.
That's cool, man.
Pretty fine.
All right, and I guess the last question, kind of playing off of WandaVision, right? If you were able to live in any sitcom, what sitcom universe would you want to live in?
I would say sitcom. I would have to do like Big Bang Theory, just to be amongst other nerds. Hopefully, I get to gain some of their intelligence of physics, cool. Astrophysics, and stuff.
That'd be cool. That's another show that kind of made, quote unquote, us nerds cool, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I think I'd be bugging Penny a lot too, though.
If I was a single guy, then yeah, I'll probably.
All right, cool, man. Those Dork Dad questions, and And thanks for coming on the show, man. Talking a little bit. I know it's kind of maybe weird or something you don't do often. Like I said, I'm no pro at it, but I enjoy talking to you, get to know you. Maybe we can do things more in the future, meetups, what have you. I like to do charity things as well. This past Christmas, I teamed up with a local toy shop, and we did like a Toys for Tots thing. And, you know, maybe we can do something similar with bring in your Fiend Club, you know.
Yeah, it certainly can. It's like there's only 2 of us here in San Antonio, so we're looking to grow that. Even though they give us a tough time because a lot of us are from Texas, and they're like, if one more Texas guy applies, like, we're not going to accept it based on the point that they're from Texas. I was like, don't hate us because you hate us, you know. It's just pretty cooler than guys from Florida.
Again, you want to let everybody know where they can find you, all your social media and all that stuff?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram, Alamo City Avenger. The Alamo part is a 0 for the O. But I bet you type in like half of it, my name will pop up anyway. So follow me there. If you're interested in looking at my art, you know, we have the Gold Crow Inkworks there on Instagram as well. You can follow me there. And I'm always interactive, so I'll follow right back. Send you messages. If you send me messages, I'm not a snob. I always like a good meme. I always appreciate a good meme or a good joke.
All right, and the Comic Fiend Club, is it a .com?
Comic Book Fiend Club. Yeah, you can just find that. That's on Instagram. You can also find it on Facebook as well. Comic Book Fiend Club, and they actually have a website, comicbookfiendclub.com. We have their own website, and there it's like if you're interested in joining the club, you can see who is in each chapter. So you have like a South chapter, Midwest, East, West, International,
nice,
Canada. So you can see who's in those different clubs. So and it gives them a hyperlink to their accounts on Instagram, because one of the requirements to be in a club is you have to have like an Instagram to promote yourself. So
cool. And again, I'll look all this stuff up, and I'll put links and all that in the show notes. So again, I appreciate having you on, man. Look forward to it.
We can do it again sometime. I don't mind.
Yes, sir. We can bring in some other members if you want. Have a whole Fiend chat.
Exactly. Probably somebody who can talk about the club better than I can. Hopefully I didn't blow this for a lot of people.
Nah, man. Like I said, it's all good. Appreciate your time.
You're probably going to be listening to this and be like, man, you screwed it up. Now you get to go back and fix it.
No. It's all good. All right. I appreciate your time, man. Glad we can do this a little earlier. My family just walked in. They're at Fiesta, Texas. But
I'm going there tomorrow. You know that.
Since they're off of school and I still have to work. But, yeah, man, it was fun. Yeah, we'll do it again sometime for sure.
All right. Sounds great.
All right. You have a good one.
You too.
All right.
Good night.
You've been listening to the Dork Dad Podcast. Please like, follow, subscribe, leave a review. Find us everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And until next time, we'll see you later.